Okay, Matrix. Today we're going to be doing the solid geometry question from the study guide that a friend and I are currently working on. And we just want to clarify that in the papers we're doing in the videos, there will be a couple of mistakes because we're obviously tweaking it still. We're busy filming these videos way in advance before you get the pack. So by the time you get the pack, all things that seem like they don't really make sense will make sense by the time you get the pack. Okay, so now that that is clarified, let's just get started over here. So basically what we're going to be doing is drawing a solid geometry question, and they tell us that they've given us the front view and top view of a hexagonal prism and a pentagonal pyramid, as well as the cutting plane. Okay, the instruction is draw to scale 1:1 the following views of both solids. The given front view, sectional top view with the parts above cutting plane are removed. A sectional right view with the parts above cutting plane are removed. Planning is essential, show all hidden detail and show all construction. Okay, so before we actually get started, what I would like to do is show you guys the memo first. I just got to dig it out from under everything quickly, so just give me a sec. Okay, so you'll see that we've got the memo here. I would stick it up on the screen, but seeing as it's on a piece of paper, we don't really need to do that. And we've provided some models for you guys. So what I'm going to quickly do before we even start this drawing is I'm going to put up a video of the model so that you guys can have a look at what it should look like so that you can visualize it, and then we'll get started. Okay, so if you have a look here, you'll obviously see the solid geometry question. We've got the hexagon and the pentagon, and what we were looking at is the top view. And we're going to move it over just so that you can see the hollow in the middle, and we're going to see the front view now. So obviously you can see how that would look. The side views as well, which what we are looking at is the right view currently. And again, the front view, slightly at an angle so that you can see all the different kinds of bits and pieces. And then we're going to cut it so that you can see how the shape changes once you've cut it, and to just help you to visualize sort of what you're drawing if you're not 100% sure on what you should be seeing. So basically, you'll see the different views. So this is obviously again the right view, and we're getting closer to the left view now, which is what you'll be drawing in your paper. And sorry, not your left view, your right view, and your front view as well as your top view, what it will look like cut. Okay, so obviously now that you've seen the video of the model, you can see here that we've got the complete model and the sectional model on the memo, as well as the memo itself. Okay, so now we're just going to get started. Now, one thing about solid geometry is we always draw it in first orthographic projection. So we have front, top, left, and right view, which means that this here would be our front view. This here would be our front view, and this here would be our top view. They do need to swap. I see they are swapped on the memo, which is good. So these just need to swap. That's why I say we've got a couple of things that we are still working on. So if it's a bit confusing, I promise you everything will be fixed. It's obviously there's only two of us in a team, and so we can't always see each other. So we do a lot of like texting and stuff to get each other to do the work. So as we know, there's going to be a little bit of things we're going to need to change. But it doesn't matter. Let's just get started. So obviously we know this is the top view. We have the front view over here. Now we know that the views should be swapped on this paper here. We should draw our front view over here, and we should draw a top view over here. Now we're going to start with the top view because we need a couple of the top view's measurements to actually draw the drawing. And because this is a height of 70, which would be 7 centimeters, we can sort of assume this is the sort of amount of space that we'll need. We can start our pentagon about here, so maybe just a couple of centimeters from the top, and we won't really have any issues with the size. Okay, from there we're going to measure 45 because obviously we have 45 is the line of the pentagon. So we're just going to make a line and a second line at 45. So you can obviously see we've measured it, and then we're going to take our protractor, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the measurement of 72 degrees. So here we've got 70, 71, 72, and this will obviously help us get our angle for our pentagon in. And we're going to do the same on the other side here, 71 and 72. All right, so now that we have got these bits over here, what we're going to do is we're going to connect our lines lightly to those points, so we obviously have the correct angle. Okay, so it should look like this. Now, to make it easier for you to do your pentagon, what we're going to do is we're going to grab the compass, we're going to grab the length of 45, and we're going to make an arc at this point here, as well as at this point over here. And then at those 2 points, we're going to make additional arcs, and they should cross over here. Okay, and then again, we're just lightly going to pencil it in for the meantime. All right, now what we can do is we obviously want to get the sort of star section in the pentagon. So we're going to lightly draw the middle line, and just so that we can get an idea of where the middle is. And then you're going to take your compass, and from where the middle line is, you're going to actually make an arc at it on one of the other sides, as you can see over there. And then you're going to connect it to a point. So we've got this half arc here, which we'll connect to this point here. Once you have done that, you should have found the middle between the two little lines, so it will look like this here. And then you can connect them lightly together, and we can obviously see that the middle of our pentagon has now been found. Okay. All right. Now that we've got that, we want to get our hexagon in. Obviously, the hexagon and the pentagon share a side, so we know that the hexagon has a side length of 45, as given to us with the pentagon. So there are multiple ways you can do it. There aren't really any rules with it's the best way to do it, however you feel most comfortable. But because sometimes it can be a bit tricky, I'm going to show a little trick. So we're going to draw a little vertical line on the side of our paper like this, with a little horizontal line coming out like that. And then once we have done that, we're going to grab the 45 length on our compass, and you're going to draw a half circle where those lines meet. So you'll have a half circle at these points over here. Okay, we're going to pretend this is the top point of our hexagon, so we're going to make a line over there and a line over there. Right, once you have those points, what we're going to do is we're going to just connect them quickly. And this is sort of like an auxiliary view because it's going to help you get your hexagon into this point over here. Okay, so we've got that over there. All right, so now we've got that side measurement. There are two different things you can do. We can take this side over here that we've got already, and we can use that to establish how long it takes from this side to get to this side over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our compass, going to measure to find the half point, and then you can see we've got the point over here. So you can even make a little mark pencil if you would like. Now, I'm sure there are different ways. Obviously, we all have different ways of doing things. So if you guys have a way that you think might be better, you can absolutely let me know. So what we're going to do now is you're going to take your ruler, you're going to hold it flat, and you're going to push this one up against the point we've just made so that it will look like this. Okay, and then obviously we know that we have a line going through the middle that will help us find the center point. So what you can do is we're going to take our ruler, we're going to line it up at the side of the pentagon here, we're going to bring it slightly back. Okay, we're going to keep holding this one, and then while we hold it quite tightly so it doesn't slip, you're going to grab your ruler, put it on that line perpendicular, never mind, you're going to put it on the line and you're going to draw a straight line going up. Okay, it should be perpendicular. All right, so now that we've got that there, we've obviously got our circle, or our horizontal and vertical line for our hexagon to get our circle. So if you want to, you can take the length of your circle, and you can obviously draw your circle, and then you can actually just draw everything in. So what I mean by that is you've obviously got your points now, and now you can draw neatly in every part of the hexagon. It's very lucky, mine just touches the bottom of the paper. Okay, and that is why we say planning is essential. Because sometimes if you don't plan nicely, like I've just done, you'll miss a couple of things. But I'm obviously going to leave it because you guys will still be able to see what I'm doing. And so it's not a train smash if it's right on the edge. But you should try to bring yours a little bit up. So because obviously I'm doing this with you guys, mine is sitting at 32.33. Okay, 33 mils. So if I were you, I'd bring it up to about 35 to start your baseline from this point here. Okay. Okay, now we obviously want to get the square in, which I'm going to just draw lines over here so that you can see. You can actually see that it's smack bang in the middle of the hexagon over here. And to get that in, we can draw either a circle, which is what I'm going to do. So we're going to grab a measurement of 35. And we're going to draw, oh, that is actually quite large. That's a bit too large. That is way too large. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be 25. So to be proportional, because this doesn't make sense. So let's just do that again. My apologies for that. Okay, that's a lot better. Okay, so now that we've got our circle, we're going to take the edges and we're going to draw lines in the bottom, in the circle like this. And don't make them dark like I've just done. So my apologies for that as well. Okay, just going to draw the rest of this lightly. If I have to erase it, then that's what I have to do. Okay, so that's how you get your top view in. Now that we've got our top view in, we're going to need to draw in our front and right view in. Mine might actually be a little bit off center, so let me just erase my hexagon so that I have a bit of space. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to obviously set up our grid, as you can see over here. So we're going to have our middle line, which should touch the edge. Okay, let me just show you how to do it. So you're going to have two lines, one that touches the top over here. Okay, and then you're going to have one that touches the hexagon, which will be straight over here. This will obviously help you guys. All right, and then we're going to bring 10, 20. So we're going to measure 10, draw a line, going to measure another 10, draw a line, and then I might run out of space for this, so I'm actually going to shorten mine. But what you should do 10 and 20 and then draw your lines again. Obviously I'm not going to do that, otherwise I will not have enough space to draw. So I'm going to ignore this line here. I love how I'll tell you guys to plan out your pages and then I don't do it properly. It's just silly of me, but anyways. Now you know the importance of it anyway, so let this be a lesson. Okay, so we're going to measure 10, which will be over here, and then we're going to draw a line going straight up like that. And then obviously I'm going to halve this line. You guys don't need to because you'll have 10, 10, but I need to do what I can now to save space because I've been silly. So, and I don't feel like restarting the video either, so excuse me for that. That's my bad. Okay, and then once you have like a grid like this, what you're going to do is you're going to take your 45-degree set square, and where the middle of this like little cube square thing is, you're going to draw a 45-degree line going out. Okay, just want to check something. If this is, I'll just fit it in. That's lucky of me. Okay, so now we're going to draw obviously our front view, and we're going to start by bringing up our hexagon. And the reason why I say is because if you're a man standing here and you're looking up this, you'll actually see that the hexagon will take more of space. So we're going to start by drawing that up. So if you would like to, I think let's actually number this so that it makes it easier for you guys. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then we'll have A, B, C, D, just like this over here. And then we'll do X, Y, Z on these ones here. Okay, so that we obviously know which points we are working with. Okay, so obviously with line 1, we've already brought it up because it will be the line that goes straight up there. So we're going to need to bring up line 6. Okay, line 6. We'll need to bring up line 2, line 5, line 4, and line 3. So we've got line 4, and we will have line 3 as well. Okay, and then what we're going to do before we even start is we're going to measure 70 going up, which is obviously given to us over here. So we'll have 70. Okay, and then you can bring down the sides because we know we'll see those sides. So we're going to bring them straight down. These you can make solid because obviously we're not hatching the front view, which means it'll be exactly as you see it here. Okay, we know that we will see line 6. So line 6 will be a solid line. We will not see line 2, so we're going to put 2 as a dash line. Okay, and we are going to see line 5, so we're going to make line 5 solid. We're obviously not going to see line 3, so line 3 will be a dash line. Now, seeing as the instructions do specify that we need to show all hidden detail, we're going to have to draw in this part over here. We're obviously not going to see line B as it goes inside the hexagon, so you're just going to draw a dash line. If you want to label them, you can, so that you know which is which. We will not see line A, so again, we'll do a dashed line. I've mislabeled, so I will fix that quickly. So that's A, this will be B. We will not see line D, so that will be a dash line. And we will not see line 3, so that will be a dash line as well. So we've got C and D. Okay, now we are going to draw up the pentagon. Now let's just label the top point T, and we're going to start off by drawing in our pentagon. So we're going to start off by bringing up line X and T. We're going to bring up line Y. We're going to bring up, so just put the 70 mark here because it is got a height of 70. It has got a height of 70 as well. And then we've obviously got the rest of the lines up, and then there'll be lines that we won't see. Okay, so now that we've got those lines, we're going to join 4, which will be this line here, T. Okay, and we'll have Z, which I have not brought up yet, so let me just bring Z up. Okay, we can bring a point there. So we've got Z, which we will bring TZ. So obviously there will be T and Z, and this will be 4. Okay, so we've got Y, which we will see. So we're going to bring TY. And we know that point 3 will be not completely seen, but it will be seen to a certain extent. So we'll have a line there, and we will have a dash line from behind like this. Okay, so it should look like this, and then obviously we're going to have to dash the line in the background, which is line X that we won't see, and then we can draw a platform at the bottom. Okay, now it says the section has got a line of 20 going up, so what we're going to do is we're going to measure 20. We're going to bring it across to the edge of the prism over there, prism, and then we're going to add in our cutting plane RR. Also, your dash lines should be lighter than the rest of your lines, so mine are a little bit dark, but I do that so that you guys can see, but just so that you know, they are supposed to be lighter. Okay, so far we've got the complete front view, which you do actually get marks for, even though we haven't put it in yet, but you do actually get marks for them. So just know that if you're really struggling, draw as much as you can, because everything that you do draw is something that you get marks for. Okay, I'm out of breath, I don't know why. Okay, so now we're going to look at sectioning our top view here. Okay, so this is not really too confusing, but sometimes it can be a little tricky, and so we're going to do that quickly. So let's just quickly bring up our lines. So we've got line 1, that will be line 6, that's B, so that will be 2. This one will be 5, and that one will be 3. Okay, and then obviously we've got X over there. Okay, all right, so let's just get started. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at line TY, just TY over here. We see it gets cut at that point over there, so we're going to make a mark. Okay, we're going to look at line TZ. Okay, TZ gets cut over here, so we're going to bring the mark over there. Okay, then we've got a tricky one here because X gets cut, but it doesn't get cut directly down. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring that point across onto TZ. Okay, from where that point is, you're going to put it on TZ. Then you're going to take your compass, going to grab that point, and you're going to transfer it onto line TX. All right, once you've done that line, you can move on. So we've got T4, which will get cut over here, and we've got T3, which will get cut over here. And once we have our cuts, what we're going to do is we're going to connect it all together. Okay, so we'll have that over there, this one over here, and over here as well. Okay, and then we can draw the rest of the pyramid, rest of the pyramid in solid. Right, let's just draw this in over here, over there. Okay, so you can see I've drawn it in solid, and then obviously I've left this part out because we're cutting it. And so what we can do is I'm going to just take a highlighter to show you guys, but you need to use your ruler at 45 degrees to get your section at equal intervals. So just to give you an idea, I like to line up the lines on my rulers, then bring it up 5, so there, then line it up again, make a line it up again, make a line. That way you have even lines. Let me just finish it, it's not a train smash. Okay, and then we're going to just continue to do that until we finish the section. And remember, your section lines should not fall out of your cut lines, so try be as careful as possible when drawing them in, and your hatching should also be lighter than the rest of your lines as well, so just keep that in mind. Okay, perfect. So we've got our hatch lines, except mine are missing in some points. It's not very good. Okay, there you go. So we've got our lines done. Now what we're going to need to do is hatch our hexagon. So we've got obviously 1, which will get hatched at this point over here. Then we'll have 6 that will get hatched at point 6. 2, which will get hatched at point 2. B will get hatched at point B. A will get hatched at point A. C will get hatched at point C. 5 will get hatched at point 5. D will get hatched at point D. 3 will get hatched at point 3. And 4 will get hatched at point 4. So nothing's actually going to change, which sounds a bit bizarre, but there will be a slope, but obviously you just can't see it just by looking at the front view alone, as you would have seen in the model that we gave you earlier in the video. Okay, and then I'm not going to hatch this side again because I did show you how to do it, and it's a bit long and I don't want you guys to sit through stuff that's going to take too much time. So all that I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight which should be hatched, and again, please make sure yours looks like this and not like this. But the section that would be hatched would be this part over here. Okay, so just so you can keep that in mind, obviously by looking at the memo you will be able to see that. Okay, now we're going to move on. Let me just check that this is still in view now that I've moved it. Perfect. Okay, now we are going to do the right view as said in the question paper, and the right view will obviously be drawn on the left, but you would be imagining it as if your man is standing here now. So your man is standing here and he's looking this way. What are we going to see? We do know that we will see the pyramid first, and so what we're going to do is we're going to bring the pyramid lines across first. So we've got 4 and Z, so we'll take 4 and Z across to the end line over here and we'll bring it up. Okay, just going to label it 4 and Z. Then we've got line Y and 3 which will line up, so we'll have line Y and 3. We'll bring it up there, Y and 3. We'll have point X which will be right at the edge of here, and then we're going to grab point T as well. Okay, I find it easier to draw one shape at a time, otherwise it becomes a bit tricky. So we're going to have T, we're going to bring all of these lines up over here. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to draw it in as per if it were cut. So we're going to find, say for instance, T3. So we've got, first we have to draw it in normally, sorry, don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to bring the height across. Okay, so that will be T, and then we obviously have T3 which will be the same as Y3, XT, and 4Z. Okay, so that will be our pyramid. Alright, and then obviously we won't see the hidden detail because it's the same lines are behind each other, if that makes sense. Okay, but now what we're going to do is we're going to say, for instance, we're going to find T3, which is this line here, T3, going to make a cut. Then we're going to find T4, which will be over here, so we're going to line it up, going to make a mark. We're going to find line TX, which is over here, so we're going to make a mark, TX over there. We're going to find line TZ, which will be this line over here. Then we're going to find line TY, which will be this line over here. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to quickly connect those bits together so that it will look like this over here. Okay, and then we're going to draw in the parts that we will see. So that will be these parts over here. Okay, whoops, that was a bit skew. But your pyramid will end up looking like this. Okay, now we have to draw in our hexagon, obviously, which will have quite a couple more hidden views. So we're just going to lightly put some pink in here to show that it's been hatched. You will still hatch at 45 degrees like we did here. Okay, so now we're going to get in our hexagon. So we're going to start at the end point, which is 5. So that will be right at the end here. That's actually very lucky of me, wow. Okay, so it'll be right at the end there. And then obviously I'm not going to draw the line up because it's the border. Okay, then we'll have line 6. So we'll bring 6 up there. Let's just make this line a bit more visible. Okay, so we're going to bring this line going up. So far if we had to label our lines, why is this one so skewed now? Let's do that again. There we go. So if we had to label our lines, we would have 5 over here, the border. We would have 6. We would have to, we've already got 4, so we don't need to worry about that one. We'll have 5. Oh, we've got 5 already. Okay, we're going to need to bring across 1. So we'll bring 1 across and up. So we'll label 1. We'll have 2, so we'll bring 2 across and we'll bring it straight up. So we'll have 2. We'll have 3, which we've already got. And then obviously we don't need to worry about the pyramid. Okay, we're going to bring the height across of the hexagon lightly, and then we're going to draw it in as per the cuts. So we're going to find R1, which is this point here. So you can obviously see it's right at the top, so our point will start over there. Then we're going to find the line 6. So our line 6 is over here. So we're going to line it up and we're going to make a mark at line 6. Okay, then we're going to find line 2, so that's this line here. So we're going to make a mark at 2. I can't see it now. 2. Okay, then we're going to find the next line, which will be line 5. So we're going to find line 5, which is here. So we're going to take 5. We're going to put it at that point over there. And then we're going to find line 3, which will be over here. And we'll find line 4, which will be over here, I believe. Yep. Okay. And then if I had to connect it to show to you, we would have the cut of the hexagon straight over here. Okay. And then we would see which lines we would actually see. So obviously with the pyramid being cut, we would see this line over here. We would see this line over here. We would see this one over here. And we would see this one over here. Okay, so we're going to draw the bottom in. Now we're not done yet because obviously we've still got the square in the middle. So we're going to bring those lines across quickly. So we've got B. So that'll be line B. We've got line C. So we're going to bring up C quickly. That will be line C. We've got line D. Bring up D quickly. And then we've obviously got line A as well. So we'll bring line A across and up as well. Okay. Then we're going to do the same sort of thing. So we're going to find the corresponding points, which is why we label. So we're going to find B. Obviously we know B is this line here. We're going to find B. So that will be B over there. Then we're going to find A, which is over here. So now we're going to find A's point. Make a mark over there. Okay, we're going to find C, which we put over here. So we're going to bring that up to point C. And then we're going to have point D, which is over there. And we're going to find D, bring it up. I'm going to make a mark over there. Okay, and then you can connect it together. Just like this over here. You will obviously have to draw in that over there because you will see that it's obviously got extra marks. You won't have to do the same for the others though. Okay, what you will have to do though is you will have to draw in the hidden detail, and so we know this here will be sectioned. Okay, and now we're going to draw in the hidden detail. So we know that there's a line going behind over here, so we're going to draw that all the way through. Okay, the same with this line over here. Same with this line over here. And this line, even though we see part of it, we don't see the rest of it, so we're going to draw that line in. And do the same with this one over here. And we're going to do the same with this one over here. Okay, it should be all the way through on the memo, which it's not. So it should be straight through the cut so that you can obviously see where these points are coming from, which I will obviously have corrected, so you do not need to panic if it bothers you, because I'll obviously have it fixed. Do not know why there's a hidden point over there. Okay, because it's hidden at the back. That makes sense. So then we would obviously have these points here that are at the back and hidden coming through the pyramid as well. Okay, so it should look like this. Okay, so I hope that gives you guys a brief understanding of solid geometry. Obviously, we will make sure the study guide and the little mistakes get corrected. But yeah, so we hope this helped you guys. And also, just a little side note, these little like marks here, that is actually from rulers that are dirty. So I would advise, before you take a test or anything like that, clean your rulers. It will stop this from making a mess on your paper. Okay, so I hope this helped.